Coming up in the next hour of my programme, I'll be speaking to some young filmmakers from Luton. They filmed a short film, which is shot entirely in Luton Town Centre. Yes. Do you know what? I got thrown there momentarily because I'm being photographed from behind, and I had a set. Is he taking a picture now?
No.
I just had a. What's your name?
Hamza.
I just had a sense of Hamza sort of hovering over me, and I was thinking, okay, what am I going to say next? Let me introduce you all to explain why I was distracted by camera. A team of young filmmakers from Luton who met at college have teamed up to launch a new production company. Their latest project, Bored to Death, which is spelled B-O-A-R-D, is a black and white film shot in their hometown with no budget at all. Alex Matthews is the business director and producer. Dami Akimola is the production director and composer. And Kazi Zaman is director of photography and editor. I've watched the film. It's on YouTube. And it tells me one thing. Film noir is not dead.
Yes, it's still strongly going. We all had a passion to do another noir film. Certainly our love comes from that, black and white. And we just had a desire to do another one.
Sin City was what came to mind when watching it.
Yeah.
We tried to stay far away from that as possible.
Okay, is that a bad thing?
A lot of people have made that similarity.
Yes.
You can make that comparison, but we did try to make it a little bit more grounded than the comic book style that Sin City kind of employs.
Yeah. Dami, when you watched the film, the feel is that it could be based anywhere in Western or indeed Eastern Europe for that matter, but it was filmed very much here in Luton. Was the town a good canvas?
Oh, yes. Just not talking about it's not the people that helped us out to make the film, but the idea was to make it seem like it wasn't made in Luton. You know, when we were in the pre-production process, we discussed that. You know, how the actors were going to sound, how the location was going to look.
It could have been anywhere.
It could have been anywhere. Yeah. But Luton's was a really good canvas for that, to find places that could help us with the location. Yeah.
Let me try and give the premise of the film. I was going to say without giving too much away, but it's only 16 minutes long. So you have a husband who has a beautiful wife.
Yes.
He suspects her of being unfaithful, and he then creates a board game, hence Bored to Death, B-O-A-R-D, which is a bit like Scrabble, where he has the names of the potential people who he thinks that his wife is sleeping with. And basically, he's setting out to nobble the person who's sleeping with his wife. And it's a neat 16 minutes because for the first 15 of them, the wife is very much portrayed as the wrongdoer, as the one we should feel antipathic towards. And yet at the end, and I'm not giving it away here, but I am, we realise that she may actually be, in effect, the innocent victim of an abusive, a very possessive and paranoid husband. Whose idea was the plot? Because it's clever.
It was based upon reading a short story by Charlie Fish, which I read about a husband and wife and them playing a Scrabble game, and the husband kind of talking about them drifting apart. And that kind of got that idea and thought, oh, how about we add a bit more to it, flesh out the characters and add a backstory.
Well, where did the idea to add the whole sort of abusive partner, the paranoid partner come from?
Well, I've always loved the role of the femme fatale. And I thought that, I've always wanted to make a character like that of my own. And that's where it kind of stemmed from. And also the short story by Charlie Fish, it doesn't really explain anything about the wife. And I wanted to add that kind of twist with my own kind of version of it.
And there is very much a twist at the end, which I shall not spoil. That's the one bit I won't say, but it happens in the last 30 seconds of the film. You call this a zero-budget film, Dami. Does that mean that none of the actors were paid at all?
Yeah, none of the actors were paid at all. There was really great collaboration between us and the actors because, they helped us out. We had lots of filming days and they would come down and help us out. And it was just, help us and we'll help you because,
Well, what's in it for them? That was my next question.
Yeah, because it's helping their career. When they put this, they can put this on their show reel and they could show it to other agencies and other production company that they want to work with. And this is a very good thing to have in your show reel. Yeah.
You created a large chunk of the musical score. Music is your forte. Where do you start when writing the music for a short like this?
Well, I don't start after the film is finished. When we're actually in the process, when we're actually filming the scenes, I start to imagine how I want it to sound and how I want it to feel. And that's basically what I do. I just in between filming days, I sit down, I watch the footage we've just done, then I make music to that, then I imagine what the next scene would look like and how I want it to sound, and I just will kind of guess, and then when it comes together, it works.
I think you've got the most fun job of the three here. Am I right in that?
Well, yeah, in some ways, yeah. some ways. Yeah, it's not so challenging because we're not on set, and I can sit back and really think how I want it to sound. Yeah.
Do you compose on computers, on tablets, or do you compose on real instruments?
I compose on computer. Yeah, just mainly on the computer.
This is it. Back bedroom music. It's a whole new world to the one that I was in maybe 25 years ago. We're talking to Alex and Kazi and Dami. They're from Broken Lens Productions. Their latest project is called Bored to Death. You can see it on YouTube. We'll find out about Broken Lens itself, how it came into being after this. BBC Three Counties Radio. Alex, Kazi and Dami are in the studio from Broken Lens Productions, Luton based. When did the idea for Broken Lens actually come into being? Was it a school project or was it outside of school?
Yeah, it was along those lines. We all met in college, and from there we saw that we had our own skills and potential, and from that we're doing projects at college, and outside of college we saw that we all had love for film, and we decided, well, let's get together and make our own films. And from there we made a few experimental shorts and doing music videos, people in the community and at college, and they just got bigger and bigger, and here we are, we're bored to death.
Yes, and yet, Kazi, you're not bored to death, but you're here with bored to death. I hope you're not bored to death in the studio right now, because that means all my listeners have switched off as well. Kazi, it's a really thankless industry, lots of hard slog, basically 95%, maybe even more of the time, for not much in return. Yeah. Why are you doing this?
I have an extreme passion for filmmaking, the art of bringing something to life, bringing a story to screen, and having viewers kind of awe in how we made it and everything. But also just ever since I was a child, I've always thought, I've looked at loads of directors and cinematographers throughout the years, and I've always wanted to be just like them. And so that's what kind of drives me as well.
It's interesting, this driving question, Dami, because I've said this many times on my program, and I always apologise when I say it again, because my listeners will be saying, he's going to say the same thing again. But I have said it many times, and that is that when you're creating art, whether it's cinema, whether it's theatre, whether it's music, if your motivation is a financial one and a fame one and a succeeding one, it's likely that actually you're going to fail. If your motivation is entirely creative, then you have a chance of succeeding because you're starting from the right standpoint. Now, I've loaded this question because you know where I stand, but Dami, where do you stand on that? Is this all about the creative process?
Yeah, of course. I always loved any medium that allowed me to be able to get my opinion and get a response from the audience. That's why I also compose for it, because basically my music is my opinion, and my directing is my opinion on how I want the characters to be, to be shown. And I always enjoy any medium that allows me to do that.
And yet, Alex, you would love this to be picked up by film festivals. Well, where'd you go next with the film?
It's not actually confirmed yet where we're going to go after film festivals, but it comes down to what response we get.
I mean, some of the reviews that have come out, they're saying, they'd love to see a feature-length version of it.
Because there's no money to be made in a short. I mean, a short is there to be shown at a specific point in time, at a venue, at a festival. There's no commercial value in it.
Well, there are such things like they'll buy the rights. Somebody who likes it, they'll buy the rights, or we'd get produced to make the full feature, and we'd absolutely love that if somebody came on and said, do you want to make the full thing? We'd be like, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And here's 50 grand to do it.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, we had a small problem with you supplied us with some audio files that we haven't been able to put them into our system, for which I apologise. So we can't give a little extract of the film or of the music, which is a shame. And the YouTube link you sent me, I'm now told actually is not a public link, and so I was allowed to watch it obviously for research purposes, but the short is not yet viewable. Where do my listeners start to get a sense of the film and what you're doing? What's happening next?
You can actually go and head to the website at www.boredtodeathofficial.com. It has everything about the film, critics' reviews, also behind the scenes stills, and even the featurette, which will also release.
What's a featurette?
A featurette is also basically a series of interviews showing information about behind the scenes and thoughts from the actors and the production team, essentially of how we made the film. Really.
And their website is boredtodeathofficial.com.
Yep.
You're on Facebook as well, aren't you? www.facebook.com/official Broken Lens Productions with a plural. I admire your passion. I say this without a hint of being condescending. You're deadly serious, and I mean that. You're deadly serious, and this is not a little whimsical creative project. You've done something really beautiful. You've shot it beautifully. You've got proper actors to act in it. It's got a really neat plot. It's got a pretty brutal ending, which listeners will be able to see when they're able to see the film. But you've done a proper thing here, and I think that's really important. It's that sense of creativity and that sense of passion. Dami, it gives you a chance of succeeding, don't you think?
Yes, not just with the directing. I hope also with the music, because we worked really, really hard on this, and it's regardless of how hard it's been really, really fun, and it's always something that we always wanted to do, is work with real actors and see how it was, and it was such a really good experience, and I would like to do it over and over.
And all that was just a little journey to the most fun bit, which has been on the radio here.
Yes.
You can see Three Counties Radio, which is what you were meant to say, of course, Dami. Alex, Kazi, Dami, really great to have you in the studio. Will you keep me up to date with what happens next, and where you go not only with this film, Bored to Death, but where you go with your future films as well, and hopefully 2 or 3 years down the line, who knows what would be. The St Albans Film Festival as well, they love short films. That's the kind of place that you should maybe be putting it in, and I wish you lots and lots of success, both with the production company and with the film itself.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.